What's up YouTube, PokePrimer here, Prime ready to deliver you our Week 2 battle here against SFJ in the PTL. Okay, first thing is, why is this post-comp? Well, my recording cut out 3 different times during the live commentary, and by the end of it, I was just getting very salty, and I stopped really paying attention to what I was saying. I was not being very descriptive, so I decided to immediately here after the battle, after I've cooled down a little bit, I have decided to post-commentate this match. So, sorry, I will do my best to make sure all of the upcoming ones are in fact live commed in the future, and we will make sure that hopefully this issue does not persist for too long, because this is starting to get really fucking ridiculous, and I'm getting really pissed off about it, but you probably can't tell that. But, you saw the team yesterday for our team builder. We brought Weavile, Garchomp, Milotic, Buzzwole, Xurkitree, and our Togekiss. He decided to bring his dual water core of Suicune and Pyukumuku, which, fat. That's going to be annoying to break through. Thank God we have Xurkitree. He brought the Charizard, which I believe to be Mega X at this point in the match. At Team Preview, I thought he was going to be Mega X. That's why I was really happy I had a Fizdef, Marvel Scale, Milotic with Haze and such like that to break through that mon. He brings the Torn, which is the only Z user he brought. He brought Nihilego on his team, which, to be fair, most Nihilego are usually Scarf, but, you know, I wasn't sure what he could have brought. He could have brought just about anything, to be fair. And then he brought the Rabombi, which I figured could have been maybe a Sash lead for Web, something like that. So, thinking that way, I did say in my team builder I was going to lead 100% with Weavile, so we are going to go ahead and do that. As he leads with Pyukumuku, now at this point, I just kind of want to see what kind of build he is. I go for the knockoff, get rid of his Wakamberi, which is big, because that means this thing is no longer a stop to a Xurkitree sweep at all. So, because he needs the Wakamberi to live a hit from Xurk, because Xurk just basically nukes it to the next dimension. So, now I've made sure that Xurk can break through this as well late game. If I start getting some Beast Boosts up, I can just beat Pyuku. So that's good. This also shows that he is a physically defensive build. So that's something really good to note now that I'm aware of that. So off goes his Wakamberi, and now I'm Toxic, but that's not a huge deal. I'm actually going to bounce out now into Xurkitree, as he makes the really good play of going for a double Toxic, which is really smart on his part. Kind of makes things a little bit better. I go straight for a Thunderbolt. I had no reason not to, and I'm going to pop the Sash on his Jerry Seinfeld, the Rabombi. Now I'm going to bounce out to Weavile, because I know, A, I outspeed this, B, I live any hit, period, and C, that there's really no drawback. Weavile doesn't do much in this game. If you look at his team, what does Weavile do to Zard? Not much. What does Weavile do to Suicune besides knock off its leftovers? Not much. What does Weavile, if anything, the only thing on his team that Weavile actually can handle, because if his Nihilego is Scarfed, then I basically just lose to it. Weavile basically just, and at this point, Weavile maybe can beat the Torn, but that's just Torn. That's only one mon out of 6. I figured it would be safe here, so I go into Weavile. He doesn't just go straight for the Moonblast, which is a good play on his part. I'm now weakened. I just go straight for a knockoff because this kind of covered a lot of things. One, it obviously did the 1% that he had left, the 1 HP. So I did cover that scenario. It also covered potential switch into something else just to knock an item off or something along those lines. Potentially could have covered... Yeah, it could have covered just about any switch out. And at this point, he knew that the Rabombi really wasn't going to be able to do much in this match. I don't know if he brought webs or not, but he could have. So it's entirely feasible. So it worked out for me. So I'm able to get rid of the Rabombi there. There aren't going to be no sticky webs in this match. So that's really good. And Weavile's going to drop here to the Toxic, which is totally fine. I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to go out into Garchomp here as he goes out into his Suicune. I'm just going to go for my Rocks. I want my Rocks up at this point because I knew it could live an Ice Beam, so I wasn't too upset about taking that Ice Beam. Like, it's not too big of a deal. I'm still Scarfed. I still had speed. everything on his team, barring a Scarf Nihilego. So I should be fine in that regard. I wanted to get my rocks up because he does still have the Zard. Puku plus the rocks chip plus like some other form of damage could potentially KO it, as well as the Torn is annoying with rocks, so getting some chip on that on its switch-ins, even if it is a defogger, that 25% that it has to take to come into defog now is going to be a pain for him. So I'm going to swap out to my Milotic because I know I can eat any hit. He just goes for the Ice Beam, which doesn't even bother me, and then pops my Flame Orb, so that's great. I'm going to go here and double out into Togekiss because I know he's switching. And right here, we see he does go for the Power Gem, which does massive damage to me. And I'm going to Thunder Wave this thing. So I'm thinking in my head, alright, unless he's Scarfed, in which he does reveal himself to be Scarfed, I can potentially outspeed him and just flinch hacks him. I really don't need Togekiss or anything else in this game. So he does turn out to be Scarfed, he breaks the paralysis, and he is going to Power Gem and beat me. But that is fine, because I have a Scarfed non-paralyzed Garchomp to go out into, and I click Outrage. Now the reason I click Outrage here is Outrage is a minimum of 99% to Nihilego. So, Outrage would have killed, and Outrage was the best move to go for, and the most damaging move to go for against any other member of his team. For the most part. Like, it handled every possible scenario. So, I go for the Outrage here as he goes into Pyukumuku, and bam, 40% right there, and another Outrage is going to pop off and kill the Pyukumuku, which is great. Now, I'm confused here, and I feel at this point my best possible option is to just get damage on this, because I feel like a potential 1v1 with Milotic is coming, and I just want to have this thing hurting, or have this thing at least down in range where Zerk can potentially set up on it and sweep. So, I go for the Outrage again, and he's just going to hit himself in Confusion, and Scald's going to drop me, which is really annoying, because that's really not what I needed. So, right here, I debated going for the Z Hypnosis, but then I looked at the Nihilego and I'm like, oh no, I can't. I couldn't do it just yet because everything else, the Zard, I could at least 2-hit KO, maybe put to sleep with the Hypnosis and 2-hit KO with Dazzling Gleam. The Suicune I could blow through after a Beast Boost. And the Torn I can blow through. But Nihilego eats everything. So I actually do just go straight for a Thunderbolt here, thinking he could switch out and go into this, and bam, it does. And with the paralysis, I am going to be faster, so I'm able to 2-hit KO this Nihilego and get it out, which is so good. Now he goes on to Torn, and this makes me think of one reason. I'm looking at the potential things he could hit me with. He's either got physical moves, something like Superpower, something along those lines, could take me out, or he's running a Z move that can hit me. So, thinking about all the potential options, he's obviously not running Flyinium. Out of all the options of potential Z moves I thought he could be running, barring a potential Bloom Doom with even on a post-comic cuts. As I was saying, out of all the potential Z moves that Torn could potentially run, make sure that's not just because the cord is loose or some shit. Actually, let me make sure over here as well. It's not just a loose cord. It's not just disconnecting itself randomly. Okay, we should be good there. But, I determined my best mod to take this hit is going to be Milotic. So I just immediately bounce out to Milotic here. He's going to go for an Inferno Overdrive, and he eats. Ooh, Milotic just eats. So he goes for a Defog here. I'm just able to go for a free recover. No big deal here. He's going to U-turn out, which is fine. He gets his recovery, and I'm just going to go, I believe, for a Scald. And with that Scald, I get a burn, and it does reveal that he's fully physically defensive, because that's like the high roll for a Scald on a physically defensive variant. So I'm just going to go for a Scald here, as he is as well. The burn canceling out his leftovers is really nice, because it keeps him in range of Zerk the entire time. I'm just going to recover here, which is nice. He's then going to go for a Scald again on me, which is fine, as I'm going to reveal my Mirror Coat to get a little bit more damage off on him, so I'm doing more to him than he is to me. I'm actually going to switch to Buzzwole here. Now, the reason I switched to Buzzwole is, oh, fuck. Sorry about that, sorry about that, sorry about that. I'm getting back to where we are. I'm getting back to where we are. Alright, so the reason I switched to Buzzwole here is, A, I need a clean switch into Circuitry. That's number one. That is, goal A is a clean switch to Zerk. Goal B is, actually no, there's just one goal. The goal is I want to clean switch into Zerk, and Buzzwole is just my more expendable member. I need my Lodic to be able to wall potential Zard X and this thing, because I think 1v1 overall I beat this. So I go into Swalskeeto and thinking that, like, he knows the superpower could probably 2-ko him from this range. So, and he has two amazing switch-ins in Zard and Torn to either a Leech Life or a superpower. So I actually go for my Scarf Stone Edge here. And we're going to see he actually makes the switch into his Torn and takes the Stone Edge. Another one comes out, and down goes the Tornadus, which is amazingly huge in this game. I'm going to go for another Stone Edge, hoping to crit. He reveals the rest here, though, which is actually amazing for me. I go hard Circuitry as he goes for the Sleep Talk and gets the rest, which is super unfortunate. Now, this is one little bit of hacks here, alright? I do get a crit. Thunderbolt does 80 to 95 to this spread, so I would not have killed in one shot. And depending upon Sleep Talk rolls, if he had gotten a damaging move, I probably would have dropped to my Toxic, which isn't as bad because I could have gone into, like, if it's Zard X, I can go into Jormungand and beat it. If it's Zard Y, I beat it with Buzzwole. So at the point in the match, it wasn't too bad of a situation, I guess. I mean, if he'd killed me, that's one thing, but I could have still pulled out the win regardless of that crit, I think, at this stage in the matchup, based upon what I had left. So there's that. So I get my Beast Boost. Then he goes out into his Zard and Mega Evolves and shows that he's Zard X, which is great. I actually go for my Z Hypnosis this turn because there's two different scenarios here. One, he's Zard Y, right? If he's Zard Y, he goes straight for the kill on my Zerg, drops it, and I can either go my Lodic, click Mirror Coat on a Solar Beam, and knock out the Zard. Or I can go Buzzwole and click the Scarf Stone Edge and OHKO the Zard that way. So I had two ways of beating a Zard Y. If he goes Zard X, he either attacks me, kills me, and then I go my Lodic and beat it 1v1, or I go Buzzwole and I hit it as hard as I can, and then or I go Buzzwole and hit it as hard as I can, and then eventually go my Lodic and beat it. Like, sacrificing maybe some differential points at that point, but still could have beaten it without any real issues. Or he sets up. He tries to set up, goes for a Dragon Dance in front of me. I get off the Hypnosis, put him to sleep, and then I'm in a position to break through him. So, he does go for the Dragon Dance. I go for the Z Hypnosis, and the Hypnosis lands, which is great. So I get my speed boost, and Zard now goes to sleep. Obviously, he gets a free sleep turn, and that crit was enormous, okay? Here's the actual calc here. Dazzling Gleam from a +1 Circuitry with my spread does 62.6 to 73.7%. It is still only a 62.5% chance to OHKO a standard Zard spread with a crit. That is insane. So, yeah, that is something to note for sure. Sorry for the crits, it happens, it's Pokemon, but yeah, with that though, we do pick up a 3-0 victory. That was literally the best case scenario. Worst case scenarios were either 2 or 1-0s, but I think based upon the position we got to in that matchup, it was just a matter of what happened first each time, and it was just a matter of how everything played out. And we did get a little lucky there with the crits for sure, but I don't think it changed the overall outcome, just the differential. But yeah. With that, though, I'm going to get out of here. I have to go edit these 2 different clips together now because I love my software. But if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, I am PokePrimer, signing off.